exactly where we need to be. It gives us another alternative for development. So instead of standing still, we have a new business model we can work through.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marcy Reese. I live at the Enclave.
Keep it closer to your face.
And I love Atlantic City. And I love the beaches, particularly the beaches. And they have become so unsavory. I was wondering if there was any plans to make it a better, safer beach. I was thinking maybe beach tags, paved beaches. I think that would keep.
Can you be more specific about the condition of the beaches, why they're unsavory?
The people, the class of people, the homeless people, the people taking showers from the beach on the boardwalk with soap, just using. So I'm thinking if they had to pay to be on the beaches, we wouldn't get all those people.
It might be that a lot of what you're seeing is connected to the homeless problem, and we recognize that as being a very top priority for quality of life issues here in Atlantic City. I guess I got myself into a little bit of a quandary because I was at a meeting with a number of social service agencies, and I said, you know, we have to adopt a zero tolerance policy for homelessness in Atlantic City. And got a few calls after that because people felt like maybe we were just going to sweep the homeless up and not be compassionate in how that in addressing their needs. So let me say that I still stand by. I think we need a zero tolerance policy here for homelessness in Atlantic City, but only when well supported by social services that can handle that in a humane, compassionate way.
I also just wanted to say we have such a great marketing thing that we could be capitalizing on with this show, Boardwalk Empire. It's bringing so much attention to Atlantic City, and yet I am on the boardwalk every day and night, and really not too much has been done to promote Atlantic City with that show.
Thank you. And I think Boardwalk Empire gives us a good example of one of our strengths. We have the historic fabric here. Some of it's still standing, and some of it is gone forever, but we have our history here, and nobody else is going to replace that. And that is one of the things that we need to really build upon. We have people here who can really provide a view to people that have no exposure to our history, and we need to capture that and to in ways that are fun, both physical in recreating maybe some of the old Atlantic City aesthetic, but connecting it to the bigger than life personalities and events that have been here in the past. I think that's a huge opportunity for us. Thank you for bringing that up.
Hi, I'm Eileen Barker. My concern is I travel.
Eileen, excuse me 1 second. Everybody shut your phone, it's a meeting. I've been texting and emailing for the last half hour, and not once did it make a noise. Shut your phone off, it's a meeting. Please. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Silent or vibrate? Sorry, go. Jesus.
First of all,
Start over again.
I'm Eileen Barker from I live here, and I
Hold it
just want
closer to your...
Susan, I just want to compliment you on working to establish Atlantic City as a primary resort. And I travel back and forth to New York a lot, and I think it's a disaster the way the bus situation is. I don't even know people that have a chance to experience it.
Didn't hear you.
The New Jersey Transit buses? Is that the
Greyhound.
Okay, Greyhound buses.
Casino buses are so bad. The bus drivers, I don't understand why. And they're so bad that they make it hard for the patrons. They make it difficult. I've seen where they kick patrons out. And that plus the scheduling, plus the train, which was great, but now they've stopped it. I hope that in addition to maybe to advertising and also advertising in New York City, I think it would be really advantageous figure out a better way for transportation to make it a nicer place to visit and on the way to come here.
Thank you. It's a great point. We've talked with people who market to New York, and some of the pushback people say is, but it's 2.5 hours away. And we say, you know what, that's not that far. What is the issue is not the 2.5 hours, but the quality of the trip getting here. And so we really need to look at working with our partners, transportation being one of those elements. Your trip to Atlantic City, your experience, really should start when you leave your destination. So if it's a bus, it needs to really be a different type of bus that brings people here, gives them the option, so they enjoy the trip from the moment they are traveling, and that it only gets better when they get here.
Thank you, Susan. It's always nice to see you. And Councilman, I appreciate it. My name is Tom Foley. I live at 111 South Ridgeway Avenue, right up the street. One of the concerns that I have certainly has been addressed by City Council, I was glad to hear it today, is the tearing down of these buildings. That they are very unsafe. I served for 29 years on the fire department here, and I can tell you, we've had a mess in the city, and 90% of the fires that we get, seriously, are in those buildings, and it got to come down. And I'm glad to see that the City Council acted on that very quickly last meeting. I appreciate that, Tim. And but the other thing is, we need to start beautifying the area. In this, I've lived here all my life, and not in this particular area. I grew up in the Inlet, and then I went to Venice Park, and now I'm here. But I can tell you that we need to start beautifying the area. One of the things that we need to do, and some of the power outages that we suffered through this year have been caused by these antiquated utility system that we have. And I realize that the Atlantic Electric is trying to do the best they can, and they have done a wonderful job in very adverse conditions in the last couple of years. But we have an opportunity. You're doing it down in the inlet now, and we have an opportunity. Why? The South Jersey Gas Company is opening up the streets and putting new gas lines in. I don't know if everyone's aware of that this year. So they're going to be opening up a lot of streets here in the 6th Ward. So it's an opportunity for us to maybe bury the utilities and make them safer here in Atlantic City. The telephone, the electric, and the cables industry. But we can start looking into that. That will certainly beautify the 6th Ward. It will help out in a lot of ways. And the other question I have, if I may, on the representative of this Planning and Zoning Board, has there any thought to using Atlantic City residents for that? Or are we going elsewhere to get those people?
Right.
What we're anticipating is following a model that is in existence right now in the Meadowlands, because the Meadowlands Commission is a state-level organization that does planning and zoning approvals for projects within the Meadowlands area. And the way that they handle it, and again, one of the goals here is improving, changing, making things more business-friendly. One thing we have to do is Atlantic City, besides just what we all think, feel, and can do, we have to make Atlantic City attractive to the investment and development community. They have to know they can come here and do business. So one thing that we're looking at is following that Meadowlands Commission model where they have a a hearing officer. So rather than coming to that large board, which can become cumbersome because you've got all the individuals, you have a hearing officer essentially conduct all of the testimony on the project application. So it's much more simpler, it's much more streamlined. We would then bundle those approvals to the CRDA board through a consent agenda. Anything that needs to come out and be discussed in isolation can be done, but you'd be able to bundle all those approvals, and that would move the agenda very quickly through the CRDA process.
Good morning. My name is Joe Carter, and my address is 4301 Ventnor Avenue, just right around the corner. Can everybody hear me?
No. Yeah, we hear you.
I hear you. How about now? Okay. Susan, first and foremost, I'd just like to thank you for coming this morning. I've been to all of your meetings, and you do a very well job. My first question is, I have two questions actually. My first question is, throughout S11, it mentions a lot, it has a lot of language in it regarding to eminent domain. And in regards to encroachment, on the boundaries. And especially including the fact that the Hard Rock Cafe is potentially looking at the site right down the street, basically